we kind of put our trust in and turn to represent us as the players. And, I have open dialect with them. I can't say I've been on every single CBA call that's been open to the players. It just conflicts with everybody's schedule. That's impossible when there's 144 players. You can't line up a call that is going to work for every single person. So you have to be very intentional. And if you have questions, you can reach out to those people. And there's certainly been people that I've reached out to and had communication with. So I think you just rely on that and rely on the people that are in those positions that you trust them, and they're going to do the best representing the entire group.
Only the world's most successful chief executive officers employ a fabled survival strategy in the extremely unstable, billion-dollar realm of corporate public relations. We refer to it as plausible deniability. The wisest guy in the room does not take a fire extinguisher when a large firm is actively burning to the ground, when the executive board is tearing itself apart, and when a terrible PR disaster is totally inevitable. The most intelligent person in the room silently leaves the building, stands securely across the street, and gently informs the media that they had no idea about the fire. The WNBA Players Association has been functioning like a runaway goods train doused in petrol for the last 17 months. The collective bargaining talks have been utterly mishandled by the seasoned leadership. Mutinous letters are being leaked to the media by the vice presidents. The hostile takeovers are being carried out by the sports agents. The league as a whole is currently facing the possibility of a catastrophic lockout that would last forever on March 10th. There is an overwhelming amount of noise, toxicity, and desperation coming from the union. However, the most precious human resource in the sports history just stood up to a microphone in Miami amid this total corporate abattoir. Caitlin Clark just gave a corporate evasion masterclass. She did not stand up for the union. The millionaire owners were not attacked by her. Her brand was expertly surgically extracted from the radioactive debris of the WNBA labor dispute. Greetings from the breakdown. Prepare your popcorn. The ingenious psychological warfare of Caitlin Clark's media availability is going to be revealed. We will analyze the sheer brilliance of her strategic disengagement. The horrifying bodily retraining she carried out in secret will be made public. And while the seasoned players compete for scraps, we will demonstrate to you how she is actively planning to fully dominate the worldwide business. You must examine Caitlin Clark's specific phrase in order to fully appreciate the cold-blooded genius of what she just accomplished. You must hear how she purposefully builds an impenetrable legal barrier between the WNBA Players Association's impending collapse and her own multimillion-dollar brand. She was urged by the media to support the strike. They wanted her to promise the union executives her undivided allegiance. They wanted her to deliver the ideal soundbite that the billionaire owners could use as a weapon against the seasoned establishment. However, Caitlin Clark is not a radicalized union foot soldier. She is a very intelligent, well-trained corporate entity. She is aware that those in charge of the union have no financial literacy at all. She is aware that Nikia Gumick and Terry Carmichael Jackson have totally lost control of the story. Rather than embracing their poisonous talking points, she just shrugged her shoulders, grinned, and absolved herself of all responsibility. Pay close attention to the most ingenious and well-planned PR ploy of the whole off-season. Listen to how Caitlin Clark totally protects herself from the upcoming lockout.
Open dialect with them. I can't say I've been on every single CBA call that's been open to the players. It just conflicts with everybody's schedule. That's impossible when there's 144 players. You can't line up a call that is going to...
I can't claim to have participated in every CBA call that has been available to players. It simply interferes with everyone's timetable. With 144 players, that is not feasible. Cut off the tape. That is pure, genuine business brilliance. Let's turn that phrase from courteous media lingo into the brutal realities of the boardroom. She is gently letting the national media know that she has stopped paying attention to the union's daily circus. She is attributing the problem to scheduling issues. Although the underlying message is obvious, she is criticizing the sheer number of players. By openly declaring that she is not on the calls, she is refusing to take part in their radicalized ideological campaign. Her fingerprints are being legally and visually removed from the murder weapon. If the union fully ruins the $2.2 billion television contract, alienates millions of new fans, and launches a major season-ending strike on March 10th, Caitlin Clark is not to fault. She simply announced to the world that she wasn't present. She placed all of the accountability directly on the executive committee and the team representatives. In essence, she is saying, "Don't look at me if you burn down the house. I was occupied with my task." And she is doing just that, working. Caitlin Clark has catapulted herself to a completely different level while the seasoned players spend their winters yelling on podcasts, arguing with anonymous accounts on social media, and frantically attempting to spin a labor strategy that has failed miserably. She has entirely avoided the small-scale, regional drama that permeates the WNBA ecology. She is no longer involved in a domestic conflict. She has formally traveled across foreign borders. Fear is currently paralyzing the WNBA. The line is being held by the rich owners. There is a break in the union. The deadline of March 10th is a ticking time bomb. However, Caitlin Clark is standing in a spotless, extremely secure training camp for Team USA, getting ready for the FIA World Cup qualifying round. She is making use of the most powerful leverage play in sports capitalism's history. As she talks about her international debut, you can hear the pure enthusiasm and unquestionable pride coming from her voice. Listen to what makes her untouchable on the international stage.
Very, very small numbers, so getting to play in just this World Cup qualifier obviously is a huge honor within itself, and I know getting to put on the jersey will be super special. And these are the teams I watched growing up. My favorite players played on these teams, so everybody knows what an honor it is to wear USA.
Wearing the USA over your chest is an honor that everyone understands. Boom. That is the sound of a worldwide brand going off. Veteran WNBA players are frightened of a lockout because they have nowhere else to go. The veteran players will no longer have a platform if the WNBA closes. They become irrelevant. They are no longer able to make money via corporate sponsorship. Caitlin Clark, however, is impervious to the lockout. She just dons the red, white, and blue jersey if the WNBA entirely collapses. In Puerto Rico, she takes the court. International competition is dominated by her. Additionally, she continues to be the focal point of the worldwide sports media cycle. TV networks are aware of this. For this reason, TNT Sports recently made an aggressive acquisition of the FIA qualifiers' exclusive broadcasting rights. Because the WNBA's unparalleled Winter League was a ratings fiasco, they entirely gave up on it and put their millions straight into Caitlin Clark's business. She is establishing a global presence. She is obtaining corporate sponsorships from throughout the world. She is getting ready to represent the Olympic team. She can raise her wage cap by $50,000 without the WNBA's approval. The seasoned union leaders are unable to understand the macroeconomic level at which she operates. While the executive committee is having difficulty learning how to play checkers, she is actively playing three-dimensional chess. However, mental detachment is only part of the problem. What Caitlin Clark has been physically doing during her 8-month hiatus from the spotlight is the real source of fear for the rest of the basketball community. An elite generational athlete is not resting when they abruptly vanish into the shadows for a long time. They're not going on vacation. They are carrying out a big, extremely well-organized biological renovation. Caitlin Clark suffered physical abuse during her remarkable first season. She was the target. She was taken advantage of. The veteran establishment showed her an unparalleled degree of physical aggression. She persevered through extreme exhaustion, persistent injuries, and the uninterrupted transfer from the college national title straight into the professional ranks. Despite having a physical disadvantage, she was nevertheless able to shatter every record in the book. However, she had the best weapon during the off-season: time. It's time to recover. It's time to start over. Her biomechanics need to be fully reprogrammed. Listen to the extremely frightening and foreboding warning about her physical state that she recently sent out to the entire basketball community. Pay close attention to what she has been doing in private.
But more than anything, just really excited. I know how much work and how much time I've put in to make sure my body's as healthy as it can be, and to get back not only to a point where I feel like I'm myself, but I feel like I'm even better than, where I was at the beginning of last season. And I started off this.
I am aware of the amount of effort and time I have put in to ensure that my body is as healthy as possible and to return to a point where I feel not just like myself, but also better than I was at the start of the previous season. Checkmate. I think I've improved even more. Let every single opposition defensive coordinator hear that utterly horrifying statement. When Caitlin Clark was worn out, battered, and recuperating from soft tissue injuries, she was totally vulnerable. She was playing on an empty gas tank and making 30-foot three-pointers. She is now claiming to have improved her physical baseline quantitatively. She worked in the lab for 8 months. Her core strength was restored. She improved the stability of her lower body. To make her release point even quicker and more unblockable, she improved her kinetic chain. And she underwent an extremely rigorous and specialized training program to attain this biological upgrading. Aaliyah Boston's lower extremities was finally crushed by a completely uncontrolled 3-on-3 tournament, despite the WNBA union executives openly pushing their core assets to compete in the unmatched league. Caitlin Clark declined to fall for the trick. She stayed away from the gimmick leagues entirely. She was spared the needless risk of harm. She exercised complete psychopathic control over her surroundings. Hear the unvarnished, unadulterated truth about how Caitlin Clark gets ready for battle. Pay attention to the particular setting she used to create her improved physical state.
Obviously a ton of that, but there's, you need to just go out there and play pickup and play 5-on-5 with the guys or play threes, and just trying to get my lungs in the best shape I possibly can without really playing a competitive game.
You simply need to go play pickup and 5-on-5 games with the guys. I'm not really playing a competitive game, I'm just trying to get my lungs in the finest possible shape. At that point, stop the tape. Engaging in 5-on-5 play with the boys. This is the most significant competitive advantage. Caitlin Clark did not play half-court basketball against worn-out WNBA veterans throughout the winter. She ran full-court 5-on-5 scrimmages against top male athletes during the winter in extremely private, demanding training settings. You are compelled to fundamentally rebuild your brain processing when you regularly train against a population that has a clear biological edge in explosive lateral speed, vertical leaping ability, and sheer physical mass. You need to start making decisions quickly. You need to get perfect at handling the ball. You need to have a tiny level of spatial awareness. Because the ball is gone if you pause for a split second. Caitlin Clark has artificially slowed down the game of women's basketball in her own head by putting herself through this rigorous, extremely stressful shadow training camp. The opposition defenses will appear to be moving slowly when she eventually returns to a WNBA court, providing the union does not totally destroy the league. Her internal processor has been adjusted to a speed that the seasoned gamers can't match. The contrast is simply astounding. Right now, the WNBA Players Association is a nasty, utterly disorganized mess. They're threatening to lock the doors. They are grumbling about taxation. They are engaged in combat with their own agents. They are aggressively exhibiting a total lack of corporate maturity. They are forced to fight billionaire owners who have every mathematical edge in a war that is utterly hopeless.